Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem, welcome back to today's Daf Yomi, which is Maseches Megillah Daf Yud Gimel. We are holding 8 lines from the top of the Amud. Zok the Gemara, Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi, Ki have a pasach b'divrei hayamim. When Rabbi Shimon would begin learning Sefer Divrei Hayamim, which contains many family trees, lists of names of people, Amar Hochi, he would declare as follows: Kol dvarecha echad. You know, all your words, many of your names are really referring to the same person. V'anu yoidin l'darshan, but we know how to figure things out. Says Rashi on the second line from the top. Kol dvarecha echad. Keneged ha-sefer hayaimer. He would address the sefer as follows: Kol dvarecha divrei hayamim achas hein harbe shemas ata masker. You mention many names, Pliny, Upliny, but really they're all descriptions of the same person. V'chulam adam echad hein v'anu yadin l'darshan. We invest enough effort, we can figure out the deeper meaning behind the repetition of names. V'afal pishasatam ta'osan anu noisten es libeinu. We apply ourselves until we figure things out. How does this connect to our Gemara? It says Rashi, Mishum Damrina La'el Kla Kefer B'Avid Zora Nikra Yehudi. Yesterday we learned that Mordechai, who rejected Avid Zora, was considered Ish Yehudi. Has a Shem Hashem Yud Kevavki Nachet Lahacha. We continue on that same topic. One who rejects Avid Zora is called Yehudis. In this case, Yehudia, as we're going to see in a minute. So, which pasuk in specific was he referring to? Says the Gemara on the second wide line. V'ishtoi hayudia. We're speaking about Basya, or as this pasuk calls her, Bisya, the daughter of Parai. And she married Kolev ben Yefuneh. So v'ishtoi hayudia, this woman, Yolda es Yored, Avigadur, es Chaver, Aviseicha, es Yukasil, Avizanoyach. She had all these children. Yored, Chaver, Seicha, Yukasil. Ve'ele b'nei Bisya bas Pari. These are the sons of Bisya, the daughter of Pari. Asher lokach mered. Who married, which is Kolev, married. So Kolev married this woman, Yehudia, who was really Basya bas Pari, who seemingly had all these children, but really, the Gemara will tell us, these are all references to Moshe Rabbeinu, who she raised. But firstly, Amai Korila Yehudia. Why do we refer to her as Yehudia instead of her real name, Basya? Al Shumshe Kafra B'Avid Zara, since she rejected her father's idol worship. So Bas Pari went down to rinse at the Nile, at the Yair. The pasuk means she went to be toivel, to convert, to become a ger, to shed the Avodah Zarah from her father's home. Pasuk says she was Yolda. She gave birth to all these names. Yolda? She gave birth. She just raised Moshe Rabbeinu. She wasn't actually his mother. His mother was Yechevet. Loimlach, this teaches us. If one raises an orphan, a Yosam, a Yisema, Mala olav akasav kilu Yolda. Hashem regards it as if you gave birth to that child. You gave that child life and sustenance. Moshe Rabbeinu was, although not a Yosam, but he was certainly abandoned. He was left to float in the Nile, and she took him, adopted him, raised him. It's considered to a certain extent like she gave birth to him. So the pasuk says she gave birth to Moshe, who's called Yered, etc., etc. We're going to go through all the names and how they relate to Moshe. Yered and Moshe. Why? V'lam menikra shema Yered. She Yered lahem liYisrael man b'yamav. Recall Maseches Tanis, we learned that Klal Yisrael received the man in the Midbar through the schus of Moshe. So that's why he's called Yered. Why Gedor? Shegadar pirtzei sein shel Yisrael. He rebuilt the breaches of Yisrael. He protected them. He gave them the Torah. That creates that barrier of protection. Why is he called Chever? As Chever, Shechiber es Yisrael lavinish v'Hashemayim. He connected Yisrael to Hashem. He was the medium through which the Torah was given. He created that bond between us and Hashem. Why is he called Avi Soichoi? Shenasel hem liYisrael Kesukkah. He protected Yisrael like this, a sukkah, like a canopy. He protected them with his tefillah. Yikusil, why is he called that name? Shekivu Yisrael lekel b'yom. Klal Yisrael would look forward to Hashem, would anticipate Hashem's deliverance every day. They had to await the arrival of the Mon, this love. So he created that constant dependence on Hashem. Why is he called Avizam Noyach? She is Niach Avinisan Shel Yisrael. He enabled, encouraged Hashem to disregard, to abandon the avonos of Yisrael. This was after the Egel, etc. He davened and he brought tshuva to Klal Yisrael. Now, why is he called Avi Gedor, Avi Soichai, Avi Zanayach? 3 times Avi, 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 to denote his greatness. He was the greatest. Av b'Torah, Av b'Chachma, Av b'Navi is the greatest in Torah and wisdom and prophecy. Pasuk says, these are the children of Bisya, referring to one child, Moshe, who she raised. Ve'ela b'nei Bisya shelokach mered. Who married Bisya? Who married Basya? Mered. V'chi mered Shemoy? Was that his name? Oh, the Kalev Shlomo. He was really Kalev. Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu. You know why Kalev married Basya? It was a good shidduch. Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu. Yove Kalev shemarad b'atzas meraglim. Kalev who rebelled, who rejected the scheme of the meraglim. He should go ahead. V'yisas baspari shemarda b'gelule be'savia. He should marry Baspari, who rejected her father's avodah zarah. So 2 rebels. Perfect shidduch. So Basya, who rejected her father's avodah zarah, went on to marry Kalev, who rejected the meraglim. Okay, back to Megillah Esther, where it says that Mordechai went to Bavel, Asher Hogla Yerushalayim. Now it doesn't say Hugla, that he was sent to Golus. It sounds like he initiated it. He volunteered to go into Golus. He chose to go there on his own. Perhaps he saw Baruch HaKodesh. He's going to be needed out there. So he went to join the rest of Klal Yisrael. Farshim explained that Nebuchadnezzar left many Jews behind. Perhaps to keep the economy going, to keep the country somewhat inhabited. But he decided to go along. To go along with Yisrael to Bavel. So he raised Hadassah. Karila Hadassah. Here we call her Hadassah. We call her Esther. Elsewhere we call her Esther. Which one was her real name? Tanya, Rameh, Omer, Esther, Shema. Her real name was Esther. Why do we call her Hadassah? Al Shema Tzadikim. Shenikru Hadassim. Because she was a Tzadikis, and Tzadikim are considered Hadassim. They have a good reyach, a good fragrance. V'cheni Omer v'Oimed bin Hadassim, the Shechina resides amongst the Tzadikim and Bavel, and they're called Hadassim. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Hadassah Shema. Her real name was Hadassah. Esther. Why do we call her Esther? That was a secondary name. Al Shem Shayim Asteris Dvareh. She concealed her words, meaning she didn't reveal her lineage, her family, despite Achashverosh's insistence. Shenemar Ein Esther Magedes Amma. She refuses to reveal her nationality. Perhaps Achashverosh will dislike her because of that and send her back home. So Esther is a lashon of Masteris, concealing, discreet. Her real name was Hadassah. Esther. Why Esther? The nations would be impressed by her beauty, and they would call her Al Shem. As she says, Astar is the moon. She had the glow, the beauty of the moon. That's how she got the name Esther, which is reminiscent of Astar the Levana. Sahara is the moon. Benaza Omer Esther lo yarucha v'lektzor haisa. She wasn't too tall or too short. Ela beinanis, just perfect, just average. K'Hadassah, like a myrtle. It's not too low, not too big like a tree. Somewhere in the middle, just perfect. So her real name was Esther, but Hadassah was an account of her appearance. Rabbi Shimon Korach Omer, you know why she was called Hadassah? Her real name was Esther, but she was Yirak Rekas Haisa. She was tinged with green. She didn't have a good appearance. She looked greenish, like a Hadass. But she still found favor in Achashverosh's eyes. The chut shel chesed mashachol lev. Hashem applied a tinge of chesed, that she finds favor amongst all those who see her. The pasuk says, He raised her. Why? She was an orphan. She was a yasaima. Kein lo av aim. She had no father or mother. And the pasuk continues, upon her father and mother's death, Mordechai adopted her. Normally, why that repetition? It already says she has no father or mother. Pasuk is coming to tell you the extent of her situation. Amar of Acha. You know when she lost her parents? At first opportunity. Ibras, when her mother was expecting her, Meisavia, her father passes away. She was barely considered a father. He already passes away. Yoldasa, as soon as her mother gave birth, Mesa Ima, the mother passed away. And the Rashi says that she didn't have much of a father. And by the mother, Rashi says, she wasn't her mother at all, because she died upon childbirth. And the Maral explains, interesting Maral, he says, it seems that in this case, she still had somewhat of a father, as long as her mother was already expecting her. He's considered her father. Then he passes away when he's already a father. But by the mother, Rashi says, she was never a mother. Why that difference? It says the Maral, a mother is only upon birth, because up until that point, the uber is yerach imoy. It's part and parcel of the mother's entity. So until childbirth, she's not really her mother. So when she died upon childbirth, she never got to become her mother. But by father, says the Maral, as soon as the wife's expecting, the father's already considered a father, somewhat. So he has the title father, and then she lost him. So he was somewhat of a father, but as far as mother, she never had a mother. Bottom line is, she was orphaned from birth. That was the extent of the situation. Here, Mordechai took her in and adopted her. He took her in and treated her like a daughter. Tana, Mishra Meir explains, instead of reading a bas, a daughter, Elabayis, his home, meaning he married her. We find the lashon of bas used in this context as well, elsewhere. This is when Nosna Navi reprimanded David HaMelech for taking Bas Sheva. He says, look, you caused Uriah Achiti to die, took away his wife. Imagine somebody, poor man, has just a sheep she takes care of, he raises, and somebody comes and takes it away from him. That's what you did. Ularosh and Koil, a poor man has nothing. Kim Kafsa Achas Ketana, a small sheep, Asher Kana that he purchased, he raises it. Baktidal Imay, she grows with him, Vimbanav Yachtav, Bipita Teichel, because Tishta, she eats his food and his drink, Ubecheke Sishkav, and she lies with him, Vati like a bas, like a daughter. Shouldn't Becheke Sishkav, Haves like a bas. Since when does a daughter lie like that with her father? It's inappropriate. Rather, it means El Labais, like a wife. So you see that bas and bais are synonymous. Hachanami Labais here as well. When it says the Kocha Mordechai Labas, means Labais as a wife. The pasuk says Ve'eshiva na'aris. So the caretaker there, he gave her 7 maidservants. Why 7? Amarava, this helped her observe Shabbos. She would use the 7th servant to count her days of the week. This is the Sunday servant, the Monday maidservant, etc. This way she kept track of Shabbos. Ask the Mefarshim. She couldn't just keep a calendar. Some Mefarshim say, interesting chap, she wanted to refrain from doing malach on Shabbos, and she was concerned that if she has the same servant all week, servant will notice what's going on. Every 7th day, every Shabbos here off from work. So this way she had 7 servants. The Shabbos servant never saw her work. She figures, okay, she doesn't like working. This way she avoided any trouble. This way she ensured Shmiras Shabbos. Shabbos. Okay, Haggai, who was the caretaker of the women, did something different. He treated them differently. He gave them kosher food. Although she wouldn't identify herself as being Jewish, but some of Farshim say that, even Goyim, Sometimes they're attracted to kosher food. They think it's more healthy. They convinced Haggai to feed them kosher food. Ushmuel Amar, he learned shechila kadli de chaziri. Just the opposite. He gave her fatty cuts of chazer. Rashi learns she had to eat it. She was compelled. Umitoich oinsa, says Rashi, lo nensha. It was an oines, and therefore there was no avera. Tosfos writes chas v'shalom. He lo yehoisa echel. Of course she wouldn't eat. So according to Tosfos, say them first. What does vayishaneh v'snaraseh mean? It's the opposite. Her servants ate non-kosher food, but she didn't. Vayishaneha. She was treated differently. She refrained from non-kosher food. That's the second pshat. For Rabbi Yehuda Amar, he has a pshat as follows: Zerainim. Vayishaneha means that they were served seeds to ensure kashrus. Now, some of Farshim learn it's hard to just live on a seed menu. It means legume, beans, that type of diet. Likewise, it says by the Jews that had to live in the palace of Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel, Hanani, Vahi Meltzar Noitze as pas bagam. So the meltzar, the waiter, would take away pas bagam, the non-kosher bread, instead substitute it with seeds. I saw a beautiful pshat. Why seeds? In the time of sorrow, in time of darkness, we have to keep our hopes high, just like a seed. When it's planted, you don't hear from him for months at a time. He's dark down there and disintegrating in the ground. The future looks very bleak, and suddenly, a couple of months later, you see it's sprouting. It's growing from nowhere. Esther ate ziruinim. The time of Esther, time of darkness, time of gullus. But that zera eventually germinates and grows and blossoms and creates a beautiful crop. That's why we have zerainim on Purim. Many have the minhag to have their seeds, their poppy seeds, inside the hamantash. So it's a double enclosure. It's the seed itself which denotes ma'afela la'ira, and it's covered by that dough. Hester will turn into geula, b'karev. Shisha chadashim b'shemen amar. They would treat these women for 6 months using shemen hamar. My shemen hamar, what exactly is this? Amar satkas, some fragrant oil. Some learn this is the balsam oil, famous shemen afarsim, and mentioned all over Shas. Rav Huna Amar shemen zayis. It's olive oil taken from olives which were unripe, heavy shlish, which has this ability to soften up and moisturize your skin. Tanya Rabbi Yehuda Anpakinon, that's a type of oil which is discussed in Maseches Menachos, not suitable for mincha. What is that? Shemen zayis, shlei hevi shlish. Why would we smear this oil? It has special abilities. Shemesher is aser, removes body hair, ma'adin sabasar, adds glow to the skin. So Esther came to Achashverosh. Be'erev hiba. The practice that he had was that he would take the women. Be'erev hiba, she would come at night. U'abayki yishava, in the morning she goes back to the women's area. Rabbi Yehuda Kessler, from the way that the pasuk describes the inappropriate behavior of Achashverosh interacting with so many women, still we see something positive. Lamadnu shvacha, we see something praiseworthy. He would only interact at night. He wouldn't engage by day. Esther carried this chen, this favor. To what extent? You know, people like their townspeople, their landsman, their nationalities. So Esther had a dual appearance. Everybody would relate her to their nation. Oh, you're a Ethiopian, you're a Filipino, you're an Indian. Everybody would think she's from theirs. She was taken to the palace. Month 10, which is Tevis. What's special about Tevis? Cold winter time, and this benefited Esther and Malka. Hashem arranged it as such. Yereach, it's a cold winter month. Shenena guf min aguf, that a guf has a na from keeping company with another guf. Rashi says they were mesaviv min hashamayim lechav balbala. This would benefit Esther. Vayav hamelech es Esther mikol hanoshim. So he had an ava to her. It's attracted to her more than all the other noshim who already had interacted with men. They were no longer psules. Vatisachen v'ches lefanim kol psules and better than all the other besulis as well. What does the pasuk mean? Amar Rav, Bikesh litam tam besula. When he interacted with Esther, if he wanted to have a besula experience, Hashem provided it. Tam beula. If he wanted a beula experience, Tam, he would experience that as well with Esther. So Hashem enabled both different types of experiences. He can have everything he needs, and this increased his attraction to Esther more than the Nashim and more than the Besulas. Vayas HaMelech Mishtagodol. She didn't want to tell him where she comes from, her family lineage, her nationality, and Achashverosh tried all types of means to convince her to talk. He made a Mishtagodol, Avad Mishtia V'Legalile. He made this grand banquet in her honor, and she refused to reveal. Dali Karga removed the taxes in her honor. V'Legalile. Once again, she's mum. Shadar Bar Dishni. He sends these gifts to the Sarim in her name, in her honor. He thought that would do the trick. Galilei, she refuses to reveal anything to him. What does the pasuk say after that? Once again, they made this announcement that they're gathering together a new batch of besulis. What's the point of doing that? Doesn't Achashverosh have his queen already? He already chose Esther. Why is he going again to get more? Says the Gemara, this was part of Mordechai's scheme. You see, when Achashverosh was frustrated that Esther wasn't explaining things to him, Azal Shakal Eitzim Mordechai. He wanted to seek advice from Mordechai, the wise man. And Mordechai did a shtick like this. He tells him, Amar, you know what? I'll tell you something, Achashverosh. You want to get a woman to talk? This is how you do it. Arouse jealousy, arouse competition. Ein isha miskana ela biyarech chaverta. An isha, you can't create more jealousy in an isha than creating that competition. Her friends die, meaning get another wife, get somebody else to compete with her, and then you'll see that she'll cooperate. And that's why he did another announcement, another kibbutz of besulis. He was hoping this would get Esther to speak. It didn't help. She wouldn't speak. She was hoping this would just create that frustration. He would just give up and let her go. Amar Balazim, my dechsiv. How do we understand the pasuk in Iyov? Lo yigra mitzadik einav. You know, Hashem keeps track. Hashem will pay that tzaddik for what he deserves, even if it takes a while. Says Rashi on top. Hashem pays full attention to the masim of tzaddikim l'shalem after yamim rabim, even if it takes a long time. Mida b'mida. Pasuk in the Mishnah Pirkei Avos says, "Don't give up." Hashem keeps track. He will pay you what you deserve. Okay, so the Gemara is going to dash as follows: that Hashem applied schar, midah keneged midah, measure for measure, in this manner. B'schar tznius, shoysa baba Rachel. The schar and the schus of the tznius, the discreetness that Rachel exhibited, zochsa v'yatsa mena shol, she was zeicha to her grandchild Shol, which Rashi says shayatzanu also exhibited this virtue of tznius. So it carried over to her children. And likewise, the b'schar tznius, shaya b'shol, on account of its tznius exhibited by Shol, zocha v'yatzas menu Esther, who was zeicha that Esther will come out of him, who also exhibited tznius and discreetness, like we just said. Ein Esther magedes. She had that ability to keep things quiet, things are personal, discreet, tznius. Or my tznius, hoysa baba Rachel. Where do we find tznius by Rachel? By Yagid Yaakov of Rachel. Yaakov meets Rachel and he tells her, I'm a relative. Ki achi aviyahu. He's the brother of her father, which sounds like he was his uncle, her uncle. Really? Achi aviyahu? Was he the brother of her father, Lavan? He was merely a cousin. Valei ben achois aviyahu. He was a son of Rivka, the sister of Lavan, her father. Ella, rather, the reason why he presents himself as a brother was to send her a message. Amrla, he asked Rachel, Minsa Bisli, will you marry me? Amrla in, she says, sure. Biu, but I want to tell you something. You got to be careful. Abba, my father, Lavan, Ramo, he's the international conniver. You can't win him over. He's going to beat you to it. He's going to somehow fool you. Amar la. So that's why Yaakov responded, Achiv Anav Ramos. I'm his brother when it comes to trickery. I understand the topic. I can match up with him in Ramos. And that's why he said, Achiv Yehu. I'm like his brother. I can match up with him. Amrle, she asks him, is it appropriate for a tzaddik to conduct himself with Ramos? Amrle, he tells her, at times you have to employ Ramos. It's not part of my personality. But I know how to do Ramos when necessary. Even Hashem, it says, Im navar titavar, rim ikesh titapel. With an ikesh, a crooked person, you treat him with crookedness. Midah connected midah. So I know how to use that method as well. Amrullah, he asks her, okay, what specifically do you have in mind? How do you anticipate him fooling me? Umayra miyusa, what type of trickery? Amrullah, she tells him, Isli achsa de kshishamina. I have an older sister, Leah. He's never going to marry me off before her. First he wants to get rid of the other one, and then me. How are you going to ensure that you're going to get me? And there's a gersa on the bottom which says, V'chimatahu yayma. And when the day of the wedding will arrive, Ma'ayla legabach. He's going to offer you Leah instead of me. You're going to be stuck at the last minute. How are you going to get out of it? So what did Yaakov do? Masala simanim. He gave her these simanim, password. Daskin in Balataisa says, the Rizal says as well, what was the siman? The 3 mitzvahs that are unique for an Isha. Nida, Chala, Hadakas Aner. This is going to tell you the password. Kimata Lelia. When the night of the wedding arrives, Amra, Rachel figures, Hashta Michsav Achsoi. My sister is going to be terribly shamed and embarrassed. Lavan is going to take her, put her up front, and Yaakov is going to refuse her. It's going to create tremendous embarrassment. So what did she do? She gave up. She sacrificed. She passed over the password to Leah. As the pasuk says, next morning, next morning, Yaakov discovers it's not Rachel, it's Leah. What do you mean? Until now she wasn't Leah? Well, the same Isha. So why did he only discover it now? Didn't he have that password that they went to exchange the night before? How come he only figured it out now? Because Rachel gave over the simanim to Leah. So until this point, he thought it was Rachel. She had the password. He didn't figure it out until now. So here we see Rachel's tznius, discreetness, keep things quiet, avoid shame and embarrassment. And that's why lefichach zachsa v'yatza min hashal, she was echet the shal, umat tznius heisa b'shal. What do we find tznius by shal? The chsiv. When Shaul went to look for the donkeys that were lost, the mules, he went to the Navi, Shmuel. And Shmuel says, they found the asoiners, but I want to tell you something. You're going to be the king. And he anointed him. When he came back home, he didn't tell anybody about it. He kept it quiet. He kept it bitzina. And therefore, because of that tznius, Zocha v'yatzas menu Esther, his descendant was Esther Malka, who kept things discreet when necessary. So this midah was carried over from generation to generation, all the way back from Rachel through Shaul through Esther. V'amar B'Lazar, another lesson, another insight from the same on the Amar B'Lazar. Kish HaKadosh Baruch Hu Pesach Gedula L'Adam, when Hashem grants leadership to a person. Pesach L'Banav Ulbnei Banav Atzoif Kol Adar. It's not only personal. It's meant to stay in the family, over to his children till the end of time. That's why we have an halacha that a Rav's position goes over to his children if he's right to the position, a king as well. It's eternal, it's ongoing. Shenamar vayishivim lanetzach vayigbu. So positions of importance are meant to stay in the family. But if he abuses that power, he is a Baal Gava, Hashem takes it away. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mashpila, a leader in Klal Yisrael, is batal to Hashem, is the utmost of humility. But if he's megas data, he no longer deserves that position. Hashem takes it away. Shenemar v'masurim v'zikim, he locks him up in chains. Pasuk in Megillah Esther says, "Ves mamar Mordechai Esther oisa." She would follow the word, the instructions of Mordechai. So even when she was in Achashverosh's palace, she adheres to the laws of Mordechai, of the Torah. Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah, shoysamara dam nidal chacham. She would go ask a shayla. If she had dam, wasn't sure whether it was tamei or tar, she would show to the chachamim. Kasher hoysa b'amna itay, and behave exactly as she was when she was with Mordechai. What does that mean? She was still married to him, and they still had tashmish. Amar Rabba bar Lima, shoysay medes mechekesh Achashverosh. She would get up from Achashverosh, v'teivelet. She would be toil. Rashi says, mishum nekiyos shaloitei mu'usel at tzaddik mishchivase shal Achashverosh. She would be toil to cleanse herself from the effect of Achashverosh, and then go back to Mordechai. V'yesheves bechekesh shal Mordechai, and interact with him. And that's why she had to make sure that she was Torah, and she adhered to the strict halachas of Nida, just as when she was in his home. Vayamim u'Mordechai yoshev b'shar melach katzaf bigsan v'seresh. So Mordechai is sitting at the shar, and bigsan v'seresh were two officers there. Katzaf. Now katzaf is lashon yachid. Got angry, got instigated. Why is it lashon yachid if we're speaking about two people? Amar Rabbi Chibar Abba Rabbi Yechanan. It's referring to Hashem who instigated that anger within them. We find in one instance that Hashem created resentment in a master over his avodim. That's the Sarah Mashkim and Sarah Oifim back in Mitzrayim. Lasis returned tzaddik to fulfill the will of a tzaddik, to accommodate Yosef, Amano Yosef, Shenemar, Vishami Tonanar Ivri. Right? He threw those two into jail so that Sarah Mashkim should come out and advocate for Yosef. And we find likewise in our case, on Purim, Hiktzif is a gersa. Hiktzif avodim ala deneim. Hashem instigated, aroused anger in the avodim connected their master. Lasas neslet tzaddik, to make a nes for the tzaddik who is umanei Mordechai. So that's why it says katzaf biksam v'seresh. Hashem was the katzaf. Hashem instigated this resentment within Biksam V'seresh, so that they plot against Achashverosh, which eventually led to the discovery by Mordechai, which was a catalyst for the Nes, because then Achashverosh felt indebted. Mordechai had to, Haman had to lead him through the city. He was all disoriented, all disheveled, and he lost his confidence, and then he was ready for demise. Okay, they take out the word Echsiv. The pasuk says, "Vayivoda hadavar leMordechai." Mordechai found out about this plot. How? Rabbi Yechanan, Biksam v'Seresh. These two fellows, Shnei Tarsim hayu. They came from the land Tarsi. Shnei Tarsim havu. Vayimasaprim b'lashon Tursi, and that was their language. V'amrim, they were discussing current events. V'yam shebasu. You know, from the day that this queen, this Esther arrives, lo re'inu sheni b'nei. We haven't experienced much sleep. We're so busy. Achashverosh is so infatuated, and he's always thirsty, and we have to always serve him our drinks. This is terrible. This can't continue like this. Let's put some poison into the bucket, into the wine cup, so that Achashverosh passes away. They didn't realize that there was somebody listening. They were under surveillance. Mordechai Tzaddik was a member of the Sanhedrin, who took up court in Lishkas HaGazis, and therefore, he was well versed, well educated, knew all 70 languages, which they needed to know in order to interview all the Eidim in all different languages. So he was listening in. And that's how he was able to reveal their plot. In any case, they continue talking amongst themselves. Amr Lai. So one fellow tells the other, I understand that we're in a hard place, we want to get rid of Achashverosh, but it takes two people to do the job. One has to go get the poison and bring it in here, and Valoy ein mishmarti, my shift, mishmartachan, your shift is ein. It's not shava. We don't work the same time. How are we going to get it? How am I going to pull it off? If I leave to get to the poison, I can't leave the post unmanned. Amar Lois, he tells me, you know what? Ani eshma mishmarti umishmartecha. I'll do double hours. I'll take care of my shift, then I'll come join you at your shift, and this way we'll both pull it off. Fine, that's the pshat in the pasuk. After Mordechai revealed the secret, they investigated. Vayivuka shadavar vayimatzen. It was discovered. How was it discovered? How did I know what they had in mind? Shaloi nimtzu b'mishmar toy. The gerson b'mishmar toy. One of these fellows was out of place. He was. What are you doing here? It's past your hours. Oh, you must be up to something bad. Achar advar meila. Pasuk continues. After this event, Haman gained prominence. Achashverosh was gidal as Haman. Now, what's the connection after this event? Any significance to that? Says the Gemara, the sequence has great significance. Once Hashem created this potential remedy for the upcoming Makkah, Mordechai revealed the plot. It was put down the Sefer Zichronos, and this was the catalyst for the Nes eventually. So Hashem had the solution prepared. Now Hashem was ready to strike at Klal Yisrael, give them a Makkah, knowing that eventually they'll be remedied. They'll have the refuah. Hashem doesn't want to destroy Klal Yisrael. It's just a means to turn them back onto the right track. So once he had the refuah in place, he was ready to give them Makkah. La'achar shebara HaKadosh Baruch Hu refuah l'Makkah. Damar Rish Lakish. Ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu Makkah is Yisrael. Hashem never strikes at Yisrael. Elam came b'yirlim refuah tchila until he first prepares the refuah. Shenemar kirafel Yisrael. Once they have the refuah prepared, v'niglav in Ephraim, the averos will be revealed and they'll get an einish. But ultimately, the point is to correct their ways and have the refuah. It's a constructive system, not destructive. Avl umas oilu enikim argayim is destructive. Maka oisan v'achach b'erlam refuah. First Hashem strikes at them, but really they should meet their end right there. They're not eternal. And once they go off, they should just be knocked off completely. But sometimes Hashem has to bring them back, bring them a refuah, because the world needs to exist. Kiyum ha'olam. So the refuah only comes later out of necessity. It's not part of the initial plan. Shenemar v'nigav Hashem es Mitzrayim nagav, and then it says v'rafai. Vayiviz be'enav l'shleich yad Mordechai levadei. So Mordechai initially wanted to strike. Haman wanted to strike at Mordechai. The pasuk continues by referring to Am Mordechai. Ki gidlo is Am Mordechai, and then it says vayivakesh Haman lahashmin es kol haYehudim. So he went from Mordechai to Am Mordechai to kol haYehudim. Explains the Gemara. Amarava betchila b'Mordechai. Initially, he schemed against Mordechai levadei. Ulebasoif ba Mordechai. Then he decided to address the Am Mordechai. Umana, who was that Rabbanon. Ulebasoif kol haYehudim. He decided to strike against all the Jews. Hipul pur hu hagirl. So he made some sort of lottery to decide, to determine the day of the Gzeira. We have redundant words here. Hipul pur hu hagirl of Haman. What's the significance here? The answer is he made several lotteries. He had to figure out the day of the month, which month. Tana, we learned in the Brayso, kivan shenafal pur b'chodesh Adar. Once he came up with chodesh Adar as the determined date, samach simcha g'dayla. He was suddenly gripped by simcha. He said, "Wow, perfect." Amar nafali pur b'yoreach shemes b'Moshe. So the hipul was perfect. It was perfectly timed. In the month of Misas Moshe, Moshe Rabbeinu was Meis Zayin Adar, Rashi brings. So the leader died at this month. It's a bad month for Klal Yisrael. I'm going to strike at them. But he didn't know one thing. Although Moshe Rabbeinu was Meis Shiva Ba'adar, but that was also his birthday. B'Shiva Ba'adar Noilad. Rashi brings the pasuk ben Me'av Esrim Shana Onechi Hayoim. We learn Hayoim Molu Yama V'Shnoisai. He had a complete life, born and died on the same day. So actually, our mazel is strong. The birthday of our leader. Haman complained to Achashverosh. Yeshna Yam Echad Mefuzar Mefoirad Beino Amim B'Chol Medinas Machosecha. But they're saying Shoynos. mikol am ve'esdasi hamelech einam oisen v'lo melech ein shovel anichem. So he presented his argument, his case against Klal Yisrael from all angles. He had everything bad to say. Amar Rava leka de yoda lishna bishak haman. There's nobody out there who knows how to really present a juicy case, really, really full of lashon hara like Haman. Amar le. He turns to Achashverosh. Ta nichlinu. Let's destroy them. Amar le. Achashverosh says, Mistafina melihav. I'm afraid about their God. Li avid bi. I fear that he's going to strike against me, going to punish me. Kedavid kamoyak. He did the previous ones who decided to start with Klal Yisrael. I know history. I'm afraid to start with them. Amalei Haman responds, Yeshnoi. Yeshnoi means Yashnu. They're sleeping. Yashnu min mitzvahs. They're performing mitzvahs with just on the surface. There's no enthusiasm. They're not alert. They're not awake. They lost favor with Hashem. Chas v'shalom. Amalei. Achashverosh responds, I understand, but Isbu Rabbon, what about the Chachamim? Who certainly are virtuous. We can't strike against them. Amalei Amechadheim. It's all one and the same nation. Everybody is sleepy. Shema Toimar Korchan Yos Machusecha. Haman responds, well, I understand you probably have another concern. You don't want to make a korcha, a big bald spot in your malchus. Entire province gets wiped out. Doesn't look good. It's going to bring about destruction. That's not a problem. They're mafuzim afire. They're dispersed throughout your malchus. So we'll kill a little here, a little there. Everything will just continue functioning. Well, maybe says Haman, maybe you're afraid of losing their taxes. They contribute to society. Mefurad, no, they're mefurad. Kiprei dezu, like this mule. Shein Isaac Paris. They can't have any offspring. They're not productive at all. They sit, they learn, they die, they're not productive. Perhaps you'll say, maybe there's at least a small city just filled with Jews, Brooklyn. We don't create a churban. No, they're all over the place. There's no single entity, no single, even a city that's just filled with Jews. So no harm will befall your malchus by destroying the Jews. Not only that, the same shonis mikalam. They have all kinds of abnormal behaviors, all kinds of laws. They're different from all nations. They don't interact with us. They don't eat with us. Minan, they don't eat from us. They don't have our food. They don't marry from us. They don't allow their children to marry us. What does that mean? They don't follow the Dasi HaMelech. So Rashi says, taxes. They get away. They don't pay the Ungarias, the Misim, the Golgolias, Varnoinas, Eina Noisen. What does that mean? The Ma'apki L'Kula Shata. By them, the whole year is full of holidays. B'Shahi Pahi. Rashi says, the whole year, the Kuli Shata is filled with Shahi Pahi, Shabbos Hayim, Pesach Hayim, V'Nosurim B'Malacha. They're never working, they're never producing, never paying taxes. V'Lamelech Ein Shevel Anichem. What does this mean? Look how they degrade you, they mavaz you. The Achlav Shasum mavaz L'Malchus. When they eat and drink, they insult you. What does that mean? Picture this. A fly drops into one of these fellows' glasses. Picks up that fly, throws it out, and drinks the wine. What happens if you, my dear king, just barely touches their glass of wine? He spills out the wine on the floor, doesn't drink it. You're worse than a fly in their eyes. You know what? If this sounds good to you, Yikasav la'abdam. Let it be written to destroy them. Let's make a decree to destroy the Jews. I'll give you 10,000 kikar kesef. It was revealed and known to Hashem in advance. She'asid Haman lishkol shkolim al Yisrael. And Haman will offer all this money in exchange of Yisrael. Lefichach hikdim sheklein lishkol. Hashem beat him to it. He was mocked him. He advanced their shkolim to his shkolim. They should have the schus of machzah shekel to preempt Haman's plan. On Echad Ba'adar, they would announce, Rabbi Yisai, it's time to give the machzah shekel of karbonis, It's time to look for your kalayim and pull out the kalayim. So Hashem timed it in this manner to preempt Haman's plan. Vayimar melech laHaman. Achashverosh responds, skip the money. HaKesef nasan lach. Keep the money. Va'am lasis be'katei b'necha. Go ahead and do what you want with Klal Yisrael. Interesting. Tesis brings that HaKesef nasan lach is gematria. The word HaKesef. Gematria de HaKesef oila ha'etz. Ramazlai. He was hinting to him, Shiit la'olav. He's going to end up on the tree. Amar ba'aba mashal d'Achashverosh v'Haman. This interaction, this dealing between Achashverosh and Haman, what could it be compared to? Haman offers him money. Achashverosh says, take it without money. I'm glad to get rid of the Jews. It's free. L'shnei bnei Adam. There were two landowners. L'echad ha'iloi teil b'sech sadeo. Reuben had a tail, a hill, which was interfering with his field. L'echad ha'iloi charitz b'sech sadeo. His neighbor Shimon had a ditch, had a pit, which he needed to fill. Bala charitz, the pit owner, Amar miyitanli tells bedam. I wish this hill owner would just sell me that hill. I can fill my pit with it. Likewise, Balatel Amar, the hill owner says, miyitanli charitza bedam. I wish I can buy that pit and fill it with my sand, which I don't need. Well, Yamim, it turns out one day, this Zav Gazel Azeh, they meet each other in the street. Amali ba'charitz Balatel. The pit owner turns to the hill owner, Mecharli tilecha. Could we strike a deal? I'd like to buy your hill and fill my pit. Amalei, the hill owner tells him, take it, gesundheit. Tolata b'china v'alavai. I wish you just take it for free. Clear my area, fill up your pit. Gesundheit. So both Achashverosh and Haman want to get rid of the Jews. Say the Mefarshim, Achashverosh viewed them as a hill. Let's incorporate them. Let's be makar of them, so to speak. Make them part of our society. He made this grand banquet, invited the Jews, make them comfortable. That was his approach to getting rid of the Jews and getting rid of their uniqueness and identity. Make them part of our society. It's like the hill. He gave them chashivas, lift them up, raise them, and make them part of us. Haman's approach was differently. They're just a pit, worthless. Let's destroy them. So they had different approaches, but the tachlis, the intent was the same: destruction of Klal Yisrael and their uniqueness. They met up with each other and they shared resources. Achashverosh says, skip the money, just take the Jews, get rid of them. And the point is that they were both wicked. Rashi says on top, he always had the same plan: destruction of Klal Yisrael. And when Haman came along, this was his perfect opportunity, and he seized it with both hands. Okay, let's do a quick review of today's daf. Rav Shimon Pazi approached the Sefer Divrei Yamim by saying there are lots of repetitions there. You have to just figure things out. One example is the story of Basya. Her name was Basya. She's called Yehudiya because she rejected Avodah Zarah of Parai. She married Kaleb, who as well rejected Atzas Meraglim. She raised Moshe, Avi, who was Av B'Torah, Av B'Chachma, Av B'Nevius. What was her name? Esther Hadassah. Some learn her real name was Esther. She was called Hadassah because a tzaddik has a reach, exudes fragrance like a hadas. She was not too tall, too short, somewhere in between like an hadas. She appeared a bit green. Hashem made a nace to add chesed and favor in the eyes of all her beholders. According to Elpshat, her name was Hadassah. They called her Esther al Shem Di'areach. She glowed like the moon. Or Esther because she was Mastera, she concealed her identity. Mordechai took her, adopted her, and married her. The tznius of Rachel carried over to Shaul, over to Esther. Esther was Erlich even in the palace of Achashverosh. She kept the halachas. She was Tevelas in between Achashverosh HaRasha and Mordechai HaTzadik. We had the story of Bigsan Vaseresh and how Mordechai discovered the plot. Hashem is Magdim L'Fula Maka by Klal Yisrael. We had the Lashon Hara presentation of Haman and the coordination between the two Rishaim, Achashverosh and Haman. B'suras Tevis to you, and much, much Hatzlacha.